Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into 2 parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Impact Power Sports, that's a great place to get a Yamaha golf cart. Not to mention a side-by-side ATV, UTV, motorcycle, scooter, e-bike. They have it all at Impact Power Sports. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I think I'm 94% today. Getting there. I have started to reduce the amount of cough drops that I'm consuming. We've got 3 dogs on the couch. Looks like Darla's about to fall asleep while sitting up. Bruce is cashed. O'Neill cashed. Easy hair. Perfect. I'm in a real sweet spot with the hair these days. I appreciate you acknowledging it by thinking that it looks awesome. If you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Hang on. I got to drink coffee. My apologies for the late start. My apologies every day for the late start. I'm finding more and more that it just takes more and more time to be prepared, and I just don't give myself enough time to be prepared. That's kind of my thing. But I need to not make it my thing, you know? I'll try again starting Monday. We start a little earlier on a Friday edition. If you're watching the show live, most of you don't. Most people get the show on the recorded audio. So welcome to you. I see Kevin Kuipers is here. I saw Kevin 2 days ago when I delivered to him his acoustic guitar that was given to me by the former Zaniacs. Kind of, it was the Tennessee bunch when I visited there, and it was a great gesture. It really, really was to give me a acoustic guitar. But I didn't. The story was I had an electric guitar and I gave it. It wasn't my property. I gave it back to the owners. It happened to be my old radio show. I gave them the property back finally. And then when I talked about it, somebody came up with a bright idea of, hey, let's get him a replacement guitar. The thing is, though, I never picked up the other one. You know, I never, ever played it. I don't know how to play it. But it was still a very, very nice gesture. And then I brought that one home, and I never played it, ever. So I went Chris K says we haven't heard a Jessica impression in a while. Yeah, Jessica was part of that bunch. Hey, AJ, we went together. We pulled our nickels and pennies together, and we got yourself a guitar. So here you go. You can play some fucking John Denver with that, maybe some fucking Johnny Cash. Little Folsom Prison Blues and whatnot, and maybe Ring of Fire. And holy hell, fire the streets of fucking Fireball. And you can sing this tune by the fire next time you come see us, motherfucker. Strum that guitar, and I'm going to stick it in my pussy. Yeah, she's a slob. I think that fat bitch might be dead now. I'm not 100% sure. It might be my favorite impression to do because there's a visual aspect to it. The only way to perform that impression is you have to actually do that fucking face. I mean, even if I'm just barely trying to do the impression, I'm still making that fucking face. And then when you really start to get animated, your fucking eyebrows go up goddamn near your hairline, motherfucker. So that's it. You just let it fly. So Kuiper says to me, EZ, I want to buy that guitar. All right, yeah, I'll sell it to you. So I drove over to his work. It was me and the embellisher truck with puppy dog Darla. She just got out of the vet, had some shots, went over to see Kuiper's where he works. He gave me the $85. I gave him the guitar, and boom, we're in business. So, I mean, are you playing it? What's going on? Have you put new strings on that deal and gotten it tuned? You might. I don't know if you know how to tune a guitar. I've got a little electronic tuner. You might want to invest in an electronic tuner. It's just you can either plug into it, but you're not going to plug into that because there's no pickups on it. But it's got its own mic, so you just hit whatever string, and it tells you whether or not it's in tune. And then you get your big Mel Bay Big Note songbook, and you learn. There's a lot of like apps that exist now that look awesome. I don't know how effective they are, but there's a lot of learn to play apps that are pretty fucking cool. Chris from Buffalo says, Kevin, you should have had him sign it and immediately throw it on Marketplace for more money. Yeah, I don't think that would have affected it. I think that would have. Adam even says you can download a tuner app for free. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm sure that is the case. A tuner app on your phone so you can be in tune while you're playing that thing. And there you go, Kevin. I'm glad it's in your hands. Excuse me. I had to change brands on the cough drops because last night, after the Patreon podcast with Ben Glaze, I realized I was out of cough drops. I had enough to get me through the night and the first part of today. Went up to the local convenience store. It's just right on the corner. They didn't have my brand. So I had to go with a different brand, and I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I think it'll be fine. Are you the weirdo like I am who does things like keeps the wrappers of the cough drops? This is like my new collection of useless shit. Fucking cough drop wrapper. What a fucking dork. Today is a busy day for me, as is every day. In addition to doing this podcast. And then doing the Patreon podcast. Pooh Bear and I are off to the casino. There's one nearby here. And I went ahead and booked this event. Well, they actually reached out to me for me to host an event for people in the insurance industry. Like my man Frank Fuss will be there. These independent insurance agents get together once a year and they have a party. I've hosted this event before. My job is to keep the events moving. So I'm introducing people. It's just basic MC work. But I'm considering busting out some stand-up, which is usually horrible. But there's one particular soul that will be in the audience, Frank Fuss, who I kind of want to roast because he's such a ding-dong. I may have told this story to you before earlier in the week, but he reached out to me when I was at Fear Bunker North. And he's like, yeah, are you still talking about me on your podcast? And I'm like, Dick, you're a paid sponsor. Of course I'm still talking about you. I go, do you not have Facebook? I tag you every week in an online post on my Facebook page about how people need to bang on your door. Of course you're part of the show. And he goes, well, I'm just wasn't sure because I haven't paid you any money in a while. And I'm like, well, think about that. Why would I ignore someone who pays me money? And then I said, if you'd listen to my show once in a while, you would know I talk about you regularly. And he says, I only listen. I listen to another podcast. And I'm like, well, you listen to a podcast? That's a start. And then I'm like, first of all, why would you not listen? I'm the only person that you're marketing with. And I'm fucking great. Why would you not want to hear this shit? What in the world do you listen to? And he wrote, crypto. He's one of these crypto dorks who thinks that he's going to like take over the world with his fucking Mario coins or whatever the fuck they are. And the last time I talked to him, he tried this shit with me and started to beat me up about, hey, yeah, are you ready to invest in crypto? I've got just a thing for you. We're going to be rich forever. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't, dude, it's over my head. I'm sorry. I'm into things called dollars. So he listens to crypto podcasts. And I'm like, well, how is that entertaining, though? Why would you subject yourself to the same shit over and over again? And let me guess, the guy who's doing the podcast is an expert on crypto and wants you to sign up for his whatever the fuck. So that's kind of like, I go, no, I'm okay, fine. Thank you. So Frank will be there. I'm bringing Pooh Bear, so we get to have dinner at this event, and it's at a casino. Now, I always feel like fuck when I go to casinos because I always like lose. So I don't like to spend any fucking money. And it's dangerous for me to actually put a coin into like a slot machine or play blackjack or whatever the fuck. Because it hits like the same pleasure centers of my brain as like substance abuse, which, as you know, I am no stranger to. So I'm like, I don't know. It seems risky. I don't know if I want to. I'm concerned with my own well-being, even being in the facility. So Pooh Bear is like, well, I'm going to gamble. I'm like, well, I know. So basically the money that they're paying me, they're like putting it into my left hand and I'm handing it to Pooh Bear with my right hand. But I really don't like going to these fucking things by myself. I mean, I'm already kind of a loser. But who knows? Maybe we'll strike it rich. I remember when Pooh Bear and I went to Las Vegas because we used to be really into Kid Rock, which is kind of sickening because I'm no longer into Kid Rock because he's such a fuckface. We traveled all the way to Vegas to see Kid Rock. And we've never done this before. It was a New Year's Eve bash with Kid Rock at this little venue inside of the hotel. Ben says Kid Rock's music is still good. Yeah, I think so. I mean, though he's kind of a douchebag, I would still listen to it. And Piano Fingerbanger asks, do you still have the belt buckle? I don't. I wish I did just so I could show it off. It was a longhorn steer's skull made of pewter. I bought it at a roadside stand in Tennessee. I wanted to smoke while I was at the casino. And Pooh Bear's eyes lit up. She goes, yeah, let's get some cigarettes. And I'm like, what? Who are you? that's like one of those things when you're in Vegas. Vegas will make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I go and I get a pack of Newports. I've got a picture of her smoking a square at the slot machine, and it looked ridiculous. She wasn't even smoking it right. She was just and I go, no, you got to suck it into your lungs. You're going to go right to the moon. And she had a horrible coughing fit. It was terrible. And I go, yeah, there's a learning curve on these things. Your body's going to reject it until you force feed it more of that sweet smoke. So then it crossed my brain. Oh, my God. Maybe she'll want to go to the bunny ranch and we can, buy a whore. And it could be me, Pooh Bear, and the whore at the bunny ranch. That thought crossed my mind. I did not ask, though. I didn't even bring it up because I figured if it was going to happen, she was going to bring it up, just like the way she brought up buying the smokes. But it did not happen. And that was the end of that. We each had a couple of squares, and then we just threw them in the garbage. Welcome to this edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. If you are watching the live stream on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to kick you out because I want you to sign up for the show on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. That's where you go. If you've never been, do it. Sign up. Get yourself a little username or whatever. Follow the page. Subscribe. And away you go. I'm live every day, Monday through Friday. Audio, wherever you download shows. Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. More on the festivities from last night's Big Fraud Thursday. Piano Finger Banger suggests I get Pooh Bear on the line. We need to run this scenario by her. I don't think we do. I don't even know if she'd even be able to remember. Her and I both have short memories. Patrick says, so you thought it was going to go from smokes to hookers? Yes, that's the natural progression of events. Before I kick you folks out that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, last night was a Big Fraud Thursday with Ben Glaze. On the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, a couple of important things were discussed. First of all, Ben Glaze, we think, had the rug pulled out from under him in a not-so-nice way. I don't want to steal the thunder of what happened on this show, but our pal Ben has been excited about something for the past 6 months. And we think that there was some backroom dealings, politicking, and do I say subterfuge? Subterfuge? I know what that means, but I'm not sure how to say it. That went on to steal something from him, and it kind of broke everybody's heart. Ben Glaze chronicled that during the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Ben is using the words right now as we speak as, it was rigged, LOL. It's important to note that Ben just got back from Cancun. He talks about, in the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, that when he went there, for the 3 or 4 nights that he spent in Cancun. It was at about the time that Ben and his lovely better half were making their way back to the airport when they finally figured out all of the fun things that they can do in Cancun. It's like these two showed a real level of inexperience when it comes to travel to a faraway place. I know it's stealing some of the shine from the moment, but Ben revealed that literally on the last day of his trip to Cancun, he realized that you could download an app of the resort that they were at that detailed all of the fun things that were available to do at the resort. So, like Ben and the better half are walking around going, wow, these people are doing this thing, and oh, wow, this guy's parasailing, and oh, my God, they're doing like couples painting over here, and holy shit, there's a goddamn luau going over here. Oh, my God. Boy, I wonder how these people know that all these fun activities, there's the buffet breakfast. Fuck, we didn't know about that. He realizes that, you know, when you walk into the resort, the first thing it says is download the app for notifications on all the fun things coming up. And they're like, oh, we had no idea. So they fucked up the whole goddamn thing. I think they still had a good time, though. And there may have been some anal. I also described, Chris says, Ben is our favorite lovable dipshit. He is kind of a dipshit in a fun, adorable way. You know? Ben, I don't think it's ever been that the term dipshit has ever been used to describe someone in a positive way, but you are an adorable dipshit. I also had a dream that I detailed to the audience, and it wasn't one of those ridiculous stories where it goes on and you just wish you were dead when someone is describing a dream to you. It's rather short but sweet, the actual dream that I had, and I describe it on the show. And, well, I think the responses were either laughter or shock and disgust at what I dream about when I sleep. And this is not the first time I've had this dream. Chris points out you cannot forget the return of the great Jimmy Stinson. That's right. The director of such amazing horror films as Harwich Tale and Blood Moon 1, and lead actor in Blood Moon 2 that his cousin Paul wrote and directed. He's back with us. In his usual silly, clumsy way, he had a fantastic appearance on the show. Prior to the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, it was another rip-roaring edition of Who Are These Free Beers? Where during the show, we talked about the moment that Free Beers said, hey, I'm trying to raise some solid young men. Can you give me some tips to make my boys to be wonderful adults when they grow up? So it started out innocently enough. Give me some tips to raise my boys. And Kelly used it as an opportunity to rant about the boss of the radio station. I am not kidding. Now, it was excellent. It was so much fun. Holy shit. She kicks ass. She was a little vague as to what actually happened to her. She just kept saying that what she said got exaggerated. But you got to hear this. We went after it bit by bit and talked about it. And she's annoyed with the Burn King himself. He didn't stand up for her. She wanted him to speak out on her behalf. And she was just there twisted in the wind, holding her twat, being made to look like an asshole in front of everybody. And Greg's just like, oh, boy. So she was bent out of shape because he talks a big game constantly with, oh, man, I love women. I support women. Yeah, women's rights, all this shit. And then when you get down to brass tacks, he didn't do fucking shit when somebody was treating her unfairly. She mentioned that Hot Wings spoke up and thanked him for it, but not so much Greg. So it was kind of a thing, I mean, that doesn't sound that awesome. It was so stark that we had several folks saying, is she going to work there for long? Is there something going on? And I guess I couldn't say for sure. I just know that Ross has told me that for extended time, she's been trying to get another gig somewhere. And honestly, if I had a radio station, I'd hire her on the spot. She'd be the lead. I'd say, look, we're building this radio station around you. Your personality's that big. Sure, you're a dumb fuck, but I don't give a shit. You're creative and fun. All right? So keep smoking pot and get in there and do a goddamn radio show. Chris says that Joe has a radio station for her. Exactly. He's a radio station owner. But what do I know? All right. So thanks if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, but it is now time for you to leave. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, brings you my Twitch and my Twitch stream and my Facebook page. And you can find them at 616-532-6600. A fantastic establishment here in West Michigan and right in the middle of Grand Rapids to get your vehicle repaired. If you're having any trouble, perhaps there's some preventative maintenance due, any car, any EV, any hybrid, they will fix it for you. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Go to their website, check out their Google reviews. You can also call them, talk to Megan, 616-532-6600. That's ervines.com, ervines.com. Ben Glaze says, can you imagine if they reached out to me after she leaves and tries to steal me away? Handpick you to join the show? Ben Glaze? Oh, I would love that. That would never happen, though. These people are very upset with you and I, Ben. You realize that? And let's be honest here. If a radio show has gone down the road of, just the fact that on its surface, they did a segment where Greg said, hey, I want everybody to tell me some great qualities that I can teach my boys so that they can become wholesome, healthy, productive men. If that's your radio segments, fucking shit, you don't want to be part of that disaster. The only time I want to talk about my kids is when my kids were young, was when I was telling stories about, Jackie and Jim ditching the car or something embarrassing happening. Not that horse shit. Can you imagine if you listened to that show back then and I actually said, hey, I want some tips about how I can make my kids wholesome and productive? Like, fuck that. What the fuck? Rebecca says, you better join them, Ben. We need an insider. However, if they did reach out, you absolutely should take that job. Stand by. Also, tomorrow, lunchtime, Bosco's Pub. Maybe dinner. For sure, lunch. Dougie said to me, EZ, I need you for lunchtime. Fuck yes, I'm there. It's about time you asked me. Chris K writes, exactly. Screw the kids. We need to know how to load a dishwasher. Outstanding. Bob adds, what goes in the fridge? I got people in the field who are listening to our pals, Free Beer and Hot Wings. Thank God. I heard from, let's see, Mr. Patrick Doyle. He wrote, easy, 8:49 Eastern today, May 2nd. The word jackpot became jockpat. We all know what happened there. That's outstanding. Thank you. I appreciate you looking out for me. All right. This is ugly. There's a M. Night Shyamalan plot twist in this story. Rochester, Minnesota. Some mom is bent out of shape on the playground because her 2.5-year-old had his toy taken from him by another kid on the playground. So she got involved. And her little boy she's white, little boy is white, and the kid that grabbed the toy supposedly is black. And she went, and he has autism. So, I mean, all kids today have autism. I don't know if you know that. Every child now, born after the year 2020, has autism. Autism has affected 100% of all births since 2020. You know where I'm going with this story. White mom. She looks a little fucked up. You can see right here what she looks like. She's got kind of like a little bit of a trashy look to her. My kind of girl. She goes up to the black kid, rips the toy from his hand, and calls him an N-word. Some guy starts rolling video. The N-word is bleeped out. Alan, I think, I'm not exactly sure where Alan is. I know he's not in Michigan. But Alan in the chat says that he went to high school with this chick's brother. Is that right? Can you elaborate a little bit more? That's kind of a small world thing we're going through right now. This chick who walked up to the 5-year-old with autism and called him the N-word because a kid did what kids do on the playground. You went to school with this chick's brother? Alan says, yeah, I'm from Minnesota. I live in Wisconsin now. Outstanding. So any background you can provide on this local Minnesota whore would be outstanding, please. So the guy who's recording this, who stepped in, he's talking to her. He starts to interview her.
This Karen calls an autistic black kid 5 the N-word at a playground.
You call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a
She goes and gives him the finger. I think that's like a... this guy speaks English as a second language. It's probably Somali. There's a large Somali population in Minnesota.
Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
You
Okay. All right, that's what
She says it twice, so he's definitely a black guy.
you say.
don't go digging through people's
Somebody dig into your shit.
A little kid just did. You
That little kid, you call him a the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about
Okay, she's saying if he acts like one, I'm going to call him one. Okay.
to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's the hate speech. And you can
Yeah, you're better off calling him a little asshole if you're going to do that. Or you could just say, just get the toy and not try to intimidate the 5-year-old autistic kid.
be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
She looks quite whorish too, by the way.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
The fact check.
Okay. We'll see what the internet has to say about you. So this is the chick. Shiloh Hendricks. That sounds like a stripper name. She's 36. She doesn't look 36. She looks younger than that. Somali dad stands up for autistic child after white woman hurls racial slurs at playground. Let's make her famous. Shiloh Hendricks, 36, Rochester, Minnesota. So she's fucked.
Checker identified her as Shiloh Hendricks, 36, from Rochester, Minnesota, who is unemployed after.
Oh, boy. They've already gotten to her.
This Karen calls an autistic black kid 5.
Okay, I told you there's an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, but before I get to that, I want to look up Shiloh Hendricks and see what the latest is. I love these stories, by the way. Let's see. Shiloh Hendricks has raised over $180,000 after a video of her allegedly hurling racist phrases at a 5-year-old child went viral. How has she raised over $180,000? She created a Give, Send, Go fundraiser. I'd not heard of that. Fundraiser for raising money to, quote, protect my family. She set the goal at $250,000. The fundraiser states that Hendricks' social security number has been leaked, and the man who recorded her has her address and phone number. My name is Shiloh. I've been put into a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my young son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man, which I'll give you the M. Night Shyamalan twist about that guy. If you know it, don't steal it. He posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. I'm keeping my eldest kid away from school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. And I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and we will not live in fear. Okay, so she's asking for money. And plenty of people are giving it. You can also send a prayer request. I mean, she has a prayer request, and you can send a prayer to her. Now, what's going on in the world? This is remarkable to me. You can call a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word freely on video. The story goes viral. And you can turn to the internet and ask for money, and you get it. She has raised $265,163 now. So I don't know for sure if she lost her job. It's just what that story said. Wow, it's disappointing, but not surprising that somebody would be able to raise. It's remarkable. You can just go and be a racist asshole to an autistic child, and you are rewarded for that. Wow. Luke, who's in Minnesota, says the only thing Rochester has to offer is the Mayo Clinic. Everything else there sucks. Alan says that the parents of that chick were meth heads. I kept away as much as I could. Maybe assisting this crazy bitch is the fact that the guy who shot the vid, his name is Sharmaik Bale Omar of Rochester. And he's accused of raping a child. So the internet is asking, hold on. The man doing the recording was Sharmaik Bale Omar of Rochester, the same man who was accused of raping a runaway teen. So now I'm asking, what was he doing hanging around a children's playground? That's an excellent question. Damn it. So I don't know if that's basically all this woman did was acted like an asshole. And these circumstances have put the whole story on its ear. Unbelievable. The Magic Misfit says the one dog is like passed out. Hilarious. Yeah, you see, that's Darla there. She's completely gassed. Bruce just had a big stretch. O'Neill takes it to the floor. This is prime nap time, guys. Alan says Rochester is definitely HLL area. It's a shithole. For those who don't know, in case you're new here, that is the hard living line. And everywhere we are, there are hard living lines. Ben Glaze with an interesting question. Would you say the N-word publicly for $250,000? Would I? Boy, I don't know if in the long run that would pay out, because while, yes, you'd get the $250,000, I would completely zap most of my earning potential going forward. So I think in the long run, it wouldn't work out, you know? I don't think I would. I'd do it for much more than that. But even that would be weird, you know? I mean, it's kind of like selling your soul. At least that's just how I feel. But that woman is, the thing about her is there's so many racist redneck assholes in the world today, and they've been emboldened because of Trump, that they love to help the other ones. You know, like this lady she's turned the story on its ear and made herself seem like she's the victim. And it doesn't help that the guy who was shooting the video likes to eat a child asshole. That's what, I mean, if you're going to have this happen to you, you want to be busted by a guy who eats child asshole. If the guy who's busting you has tasted a child's butthole, that's good, because you're going to win favor ultimately. All you got to do is say, I'm a good Christian. Send me your prayers and your money. And they will. They will. I was tipped off on a bit of sad news. Jason writes this. Subject line, Stu McAllister. Stand by. Sorry, had to clear my throat. Easy. If you're short on content today, consider giving Stu a call. Now, I'm not going to call Stu, but I do want to read this. Well, maybe I will, because of the first part of it, or maybe because of all of it. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Stu got sent home from work yesterday because he snapped and told one of his coworkers to go fuck themselves. He would also be able to promote his upcoming comedy appearances. Okay, I love that. Also, please be gentle. Unfortunately, he has an appointment to send old Sadie Dog over the Rainbow Bridge on Monday. Ugh. Sadly, it is time for her, and we know how hard it is to make that call. Best regards, Jason. That's wonderful, by the way, that you sent that along. Very, very, that's a rough thing to do. I've never actually had to, plan that far ahead. I've had different scenarios, but not one like that. You know, I don't know how I think that would really mess me up. So what we're saying there is Stu has all the recipe ingredients to go shoot up an orphanage or a school. I mean, if we were to base this on points, lashed out at a coworker, that's a 10-pointer right there. He can promote his upcoming comedy appearances. That's 10 because you know it's going to suck. And then 10 more points for the dog having to go to the Rainbow Bridge. So all the boxes are checked for Stu to get his hands on some weaponry and massacre some babies. So perhaps we should get into that. See if I can finesse this one. Stu, how are you?
I'm good, man. You?
Good. I hear you got some comedy dates coming up.
Oh, yeah. Sure, why not?
Hey, before we get to that, I don't know if you heard the news about Ben Glaze.
How he won and then he didn't win?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Are you thinking maybe that there was some underhandedness that may have gone down in that?
You know, I have no idea, man. Maybe. I just, it's shitty on their part because he actually bought tickets.
Right.
Right. Again, ultimately, it's the whole thing of like, hey, come to our banquet. And it's the cheap stuff is $75. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Here's some rubber chicken and watch people get a certificate. It's bullshit that they said you won to get him to buy the tickets. And then, sorry, you didn't win.
Oh, my God. Yes.
They should. I'm not going to lie. If I was him, I'd be like, well, you guys are going to have to refund my money. I'm not fucking coming.
Right. Either that or firebomb the place.
Oh, for sure. I'd help him with that. I already told him I would.
Oh, my God.
It's bullshit, dude. The whole thing is bullshit.
It is. It's just a way to get people to pay attention to their magazine. I mean, let's face it. The fact that it's an actual magazine, like anybody even gives a fuck. When's the last time you bought a magazine?
Never.
Jesus Christ.
I asked him that too. I said, is it just print or is it on the website? Because I looked on the website. I could not tell who won or who lost.
No, I forgot the lady's name, but she won it. You were in the running, and so was he.
Yeah, I did not know who the woman who won. And again, it's a popularity contest. Oh, I've been doing comedy 6 months. Everybody loves me.
Right.
Come see me. So those people are gonna win. I don't know who she is. Maybe she is super funny. I've never seen her.
Okay. Where are you appearing next, Stu?
Sunday, I'm doing the Sunday Night Funny show. It's the old timers. Everybody on the show is 55 and older.
Oh. Who are some of the names of the people that are old timers?
Well, some of the people are media people. Did you know Terry DeBoer is tipping her toes into stand-up comedy?
No.
Oh, yeah. Good old Terry DeBoer, weather lady.
I love Terry DeBoer.
Well, she come out and see her do comedy on Sunday. And then your old coworker, JoJo Gerard.
Oh, JoJo's funny.
I do like JoJo.
He's funny and old.
He is funny and old. We're all going to be funny and old. Or at least we're all going to be old. I don't know if we'll be funny, but yeah.
Where is this going to be held, Stu?
Sunday Funnies is over at Spectrum Lanes because, all the best comedy happens in bowling alleys.
Are you actually on the lanes, or is there a room?
No, they have like a little banquet room that they do it in.
That place is sweet. They spent a lot of money to make that place super nice.
They did. It is super nice. I used to play volleyball over there back in the day.
Outstanding. Audience member Jason said that you talked on your podcast about you had a little bit of a rough time during the work week this week.
Oh, yeah. I told a coworker to go fuck himself.
Holy shit. So now are you going to be punished for this, Stu?
Oh yeah.
I
had off yesterday. I had off today.
All right. So they're trying to figure out what the fuck to do with you. Is this Dippin' Dots related?
Yes.
Oh no. I don't want to ask too much,
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I mean, it's on the podcast.
Yeah.
The old man fuckface, that's what I like to call him, old man fuckface. He was giving me shit because I take my dogs with me.
Yeah.
And I've been having to do long routes in Indiana. And my truck that I normally would take was in the shop because it's a piece of shit. So I had to take his van because he hadn't worked in like 5 days. So they're like, take his van. So I took the van. I'm on my way back. He's like, did you take my van? I'm like, yeah. You got the dogs with you? Yeah. You better fucking clean up. Blah, 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 blah. He was starting to do all that.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is a gentleman who his job is just being a piece of shit.
Okay.
I'm going to be in the van. I'm going to eat chips and cookies and there's going to be crumbs and nuts. His van's filthy as fuck. Right.
All right.
So when I leave the van's going to be cleaner than when I left it than when I got into it.
Yep.
I don't need this fuck face telling me what I need to do or don't do.
Exactly.
He's like, you should only take the van when it's your truck. You should only take the dogs when it's your truck. And I'm like, dude, none of these trucks are mine. None of these trucks are yours. You don't pay for them. I take what the boss tells me to take.
Yeah, it's not even, he just uses it. It's not even his goddamn truck.
Yep, 100%. So yesterday we were getting the super load, which is just 20 pallets of product, and it's a big all-day adventure. The boss told us to come in at 10, whatever. I'm the last person there. I come in. I just walk straight up to him, and I go, hey, man, if you fucking ever say anything about me or my dogs again, you can go fuck yourself. And I did it in front of everybody because I didn't give a shit.
Okay.
And he's like, well, you shouldn't take your dogs. And I said, you can shut your fucking mouth.
Well,
and
yeah.
I'm putting my finger right in his face. And this is a guy who's probably a good 10 inches shorter than me. And he's older than me. He'd be perfect for the old man comedy show. And I'm just not going to take that shit from anybody.
No.
Nope, I'm not going to take that shit from anybody. So I told him, I think they said that I told him that we could talk about it in the parking lot, which I don't remember saying, but it definitely tracks.
Okay, it could have. You were that mad. Yeah.
I'm fucking heated. Most of my coworkers are shit. They're fucking awful fucking coworkers. They don't do their job. they're fucking just pieces of shit. And Dippin' Dots continues to allow people to work there, and I'm just gotten sick and tired of it.
Okay.
So I went to my van to go get my work gloves. He immediately goes to the supervisor to whine and complain. I come back in. I tell the boss, I'm like, yeah, I told him to go fuck himself. And then he's like, take the day off. I'm like, you're goddamn right, I'll take the day off.
Oh, no. Now, that's the thing. That's the thing. You've been nothing but a exemplary employee for these people for the longest time.
It's, I mean, I do stuff that nobody else will do. I drive the big truck because nobody else wants to drive it. I'm just tired of it. So
yeah,
I was probably there less than 5 minutes.
You know, sometimes you need these types of moments to kind of like reset, you know, and who knows what ultimately is going to happen. But fucking team Stu all the way here.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I've been spending all day yesterday and all day today looking for new jobs. So.
I did indicate, though, on the show that there's a few things that are going on that you're dealing with that makes you a prime candidate to slaughter some kids at a school.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this?
All the boxes are checked. One, what you just told me. Sure. You got the comedy appearances, which could go either way. They could go poorly or they could go great. But if we do check that box, and then I also heard about you've got some unfortunate things you're dealing with your beloved puppy, which is very, very sad. And I send my deepest. I'll be thinking about you all weekend long concerning that. But those are three huge things. So I think all the schools should be on lockdown. Because
no, the schools are safe. I don't care about the kids.
Or maybe even they should be like Dippin' Dots. Can I turn on? There's a possibility I'll turn on ZZM today and see terror at the Dippin' Dots plant as Stu McAllister is murdering everybody.
Local comedian.
So I've got my fingers crossed that you're going to shoot everyone, Stu.
Oh, yeah. I don't own a gun, so that can't happen.
That's all right. Maybe just drive your vehicle through the front. Through the front door there, like you see.
There you go.
I don't know.
The old man has done that, and he didn't get fired.
Right on. Oh, I didn't. He stepped on the gas instead of the brake.
He destroyed the warehouse door. He ran right through it.
Fuck.
Yeah. So apparently, you can do a lot of fucking property damage and not get fired. So that's fine.
All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.